Sonder is the understanding or the realization that every single person on this planet has a life just as complicated as yours, if not more. Meaning the idea of Sonderism is that we should treat every single person better than they deserve to be treated because their life is incredibly complicated. And my name is Sterling Tuck. I'm a little weird. Let me tell you why. Throughout my life, I have always thought boring is bad and weird is best. So I've given my self-inflicted title of philosopher because I always believe that being weird is the only way for us to think of anything new, because we never got anywhere new trying the same thing twice. So the reason why I started this journey of documenting my life is trying to help other people live a weird and wacky kind of way, because I think that is the best way for the human species to evolve into our most amazing possibilities. But on my journey to document the weird, wacky, and wonderful that is my life, hoping to help you guys become weird, wacky, and even more amazing than I could ever be, 2,362 of you guys have actually followed me. And a couple of you have asked me questions, so I thought this year for when I say who I am, I should answer some of those. And the first one being first, yes, I am 6 feet tall, the boots give me 2 inches, and the hair gives me 3. BZT Canada Flag also asked, what is my favorite food? What is my favorite movie genre? And do I like horror movies? No, I don't really like horror movies. My favorite genre of movie is time travel, and my favorite food has to be cheese. I believe it can go on anything, and it's basically a spice for me because I'm not skinny and white. Come On Maine asked a couple of questions. First of all, do I ever miss a day? Yeah, sometimes I do. I usually try to tell you guys before I do it because I try to plan to have breaks and stuff. My goal is to do this for about 10 years, document 10 years and then just disappear off the face of the internet and never go back. Secondly, he asked, what is my 5-year goal? Well, come join me on this beautiful mountaintop and let me explain to you why I don't have any 5-year goals except for that. Now, I'm gonna try something I have never done before, so give me a break. Look up in this corner and you should see what I'm explaining to how I think about time. Because I view time kind of like a timeline in the shape of a V. And then the farther you get away from the moment of now, which is the base of the V, the more blurry time becomes, and you shouldn't really think that far away. But the closer it gets to you, the more detailed you should think about how time is actually affecting you in a day-to-day life. The farthest I ever plan for anything is about a month in advance. And after that, I just let the wind carry me wherever I gotta go. Because then in 5 years' time, I have no idea. Maybe I won't have an arm. Maybe I'll be a different person. Maybe I'll be in a completely different place. Maybe the world will be ended. I have no idea. So why would I plan 5 years ahead when I barely even know what I'm gonna do tomorrow? Does that kind of make sense? Anyway, let's take in the view for a second. You'll see this view a lot if you come to this channel more often, by the way. Those are all the questions I could find the comments for, but now I'm going to answer a bunch of questions that I couldn't find the comments for. So if you've ever asked this question, thank you for it. And if you have never asked this question, don't worry about it. It's okay. You can still watch anyway. That's all a part of the fun, right? A lot of people ask me where I'm from. That is something I will never actually tell you guys, but if you do a little bit of detective work and never tell anyone else, you'll probably be able to figure it out. But I may or may not live in Canada, and that's about as detailed as I'm going to give you guys a hint for. A couple of people have asked me what do my tattoos mean and how many do I have. They all mean something important because I believe if I'm going to permanently modify my body, I better make it mean something. And I have about 20 tattoos, but I've got about 110 words tattooed on me. You just can't see most of them because I like to keep my tattoos covered except for the ones on my arm. Anyway, do you guys have any tattoos? Let me know. Sometimes people ask me how old I am, and I have to tell them a different age every single year. So at the current moment, I'm 24. I'm turning 25 on the 13th of June, and I was born in 2000. So if you ever want to stalk me on the internet, or you are watching this video 4 years later, I hope that helps. Those are kind of all the questions I can think of, though, especially some of the ones that I haven't seen in a couple of months. I kind of don't remember, so I'm sorry if I never got to your questions, but always feel free to ask in the comments because I try to respond to every single comment. I'm sorry if you're on Instagram that I sometimes take time with. I'm trying to get better because I always want to improve, even though I don't always do it to the best of my abilities, because I believe we are all perfectly imperfect, and that's just the way we were made. But the reason why I'm doing this is because of Sonderism. It is this idea that I'm trying to create and foster where we all care about each other better than we deserve to be treated because we understand the insane complication that goes along with each and every single person's life. What I just told you guys was a tiny pin drop in the amount of the person that I am. And I'm starting to realize the amount that I know about you guys is almost nothing because you're on the other end of the screen. So tell me about yourself. Tell me in the comments. Tell me every single day. Tell me what's going new. Tell me what's going on. I want to know about you guys because I know about my life. I know nothing about you, and I want to learn more about you, so let me know over there, or down there, depending on where it is. Anyway, I'm getting tired. I think I need an ice cap. But anyway, that's who I am. My name is Sterling Took. Thank you all so much for stopping by. And can I tell you the definition of Sonder real quickly?